First of all, I wanted to thank you for being here today. Right now, I want to show you exactly the way on how you can bank 6 figures a year in your PJs, feeling proud of yourself and making the world a better place, just like that baby. As Warren Buffett says, if you didn't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that, guys, is true. Okay, so I want you to keep this quote in mind along the presentation because this is what we're talking about here today. We're not talking about just what's Amazon as a pure concept. We're talking about a way on how you can have this source of income that's going to help you to make money while you're sleeping. Okay. So today's agenda is the following. First, we're going to talk about how I tripled my income in less than a year and how you can do it too. Second, we're going to see if you're still on time to ride the Amazon wave. After that, I'm going to show you the 4 easy steps to get your business off the ground and be well on your way to 6 figures a year. And we're going to see also if you're prepared to change the world and making lots of money along the way. Because that's what the Amazon environment, the Amazon ecosystems is going to allow you. Also, we're gonna take all this and put it into practice and get started today in this lucrative business opportunity. That's basically the part where I'm gonna show you how to put all the pieces together. Okay. Let's start with my rags to riches story. But unfortunately, there's no rags to riches story here. There's a pretty cool story instead. So this is what happened. When I was, I'm talking about maybe a couple years ago, maybe less. So a guy who used to be one of my students in the solo ad business, um, he came to me. I mean, he was really successful. I haven't heard of him in a few months, and then he came back to me and say, "Hey, Lennon, how about you and I start doing Amazon?" And I was like, hey, okay. He says, look, you helped me once, and now I want to help you. I want to just give it back. So I was like, okay, sounds good. And that's basically how our partnership really started. To be honest, I wasn't excited at all with Amazon at first, at least, because I was making good money with my other businesses. And, I was selling info products, selling solo ads and stuff like that. And it was okay. But after less than a year or maybe 13 months, something awesome happened. Okay. I tripled my income. And the coolest part is that it was not a pilot. So I was able to do all the things. I mean, even before Amazon, I was doing great. But you know what? Having your income triple, that's really awesome. And like I said, it was an autopilot. I mean, I don't want to say that Amazon is something that doesn't require work. I mean, it requires a lot of work, but once you set it up, it's actually an autopilot income source. The only thing you have to really be doing every day or be worried about is that you don't want to sell all your stock and be out of stock for a long time because those are lost sales and that's money you're losing. But other than that, it's not a pilot model. So you set it up and that's it. Now, let me stop right there because I don't want to keep talking about how awesome my business is and all that. I really want to talk about you because you are the person who's important for me right now. Okay. And you may be wondering, am I still on time to ride the Amazon wave? Maybe you have heard that a lot of people started this back in the day, maybe a couple years ago, just like myself, or maybe earlier. And maybe you think that at some point the industry is going to saturate because there are so many people trying to make money on Amazon, and well, it's going to be really hard for you. Okay. Uh, in one word, Yes, I mean, you can do it. You can actually start riding the Amazon wave today if you want it. Okay, and before before I can explain you the whole thing, I want to give you some insights. Okay, um, look, e-commerce is literally murdering retail as we know it. Okay, it's something called creative destruction, and that's what Amazon is really doing. Okay, and Amazon already started this process, like I don't know, a couple decades ago, when they released their service, released their website, and they did this to the bookstores. Okay, um, and if you think about it, in some point or at some point, bookstores are going to be extinct. I don't know if you can find a bookstore really close from your place, from your house or your workplace. I don't know if that's possible. In my case, I don't see too many bookstores because what do you do when you want to read a book? You go to Amazon and just buy it, right? And if you don't want to wait, you go for the Kindle version, which is even faster because you can download everything and you can read it even on your computer or on your smartphone if you want. Okay, so that's creative destruction. Okay, Amazon replacing bookstores, and maybe there are other websites that are doing the same, but Amazon is the leader of the industry. And just as a random example, let's talk about the smartphone. If you have a smartphone close to you, just look at it and just think about what things this smartphone is able to do. I mean, before you needed maybe a camcorder or video camera, you needed a radio, you needed a TV, you needed some sort of games, right? Like Nintendo, like a Game Boy or stuff like that, right? Also an iPad or a device to play music. But today you don't need that because all those functions are being performed by your smartphone. And basically, the smartphone is also creating this process of creative destruction. Okay, so that's what's going to happen to retailing as we know it. And Amazon is far from done. I mean, if you ask me if it's the right time to get started with this, is it going to hold for more people or not? Well, yeah. But just think about the stats I'm going to show right now. US e-commerce sales as percent of retail sales, it's only 7%. You see? So Amazon plus the other e-commerce retailers have only been able to cover a 7% of that market share. You know what that means? That means that there's a long way to go. Okay? So this is really, 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 really cool for all of us who are into this and also for the people like you who are interested to join us. Also, Amazon captures 50% of retail sales growth. So from that 7%, Amazon is doing 50%. What we see is just a small piece of what actually is going on. So, what makes Amazon great? Why is it that Amazon is so cool that any other competitor is shaking on their boots when they're listening to their name? And one of the reasons is Prime. Amazon Prime, it's awesome. Okay, for less than $100, you can have anything you buy on Amazon in your house in 2 days for free. How cool is that? And according to a recent survey, 25% of US households are currently Prime members. And it's going to get even better than that. By the year 2020, that number will grow to 50%. They are not Prime yet, but they are going to be. But why is it that people will want to be Prime? And the thing is that Amazon is working on delivering things faster than what they're doing right now. So they're always focusing on customers. They're always focusing on reducing times and all that. So that's exactly why people would want to be Prime. Okay, and that's really crazy. Now, Amazon is becoming a giant. I don't think anyone want to compete against Amazon. Even the big brands, who can compete with Amazon's distribution system? No one, I think. Right now, Amazon in the US only has 104 fulfillment centers. Amazon has 1,000 branded trucks, and Amazon just leased 20 Boeing 767 jets. So that's awesome for all of us, and that's just just a taste of what Amazon is going to do in the future, because they have huge plans for all of us and also for their distribution system. And in the future, maybe in a few decades from now, Amazon and other e-commerce, other online retailers will take the retailing world by storm, and they're going to change the way we buy. And they're just getting started. They're just warming up. They're focusing on taking delivery times down dramatically. So I don't know if you have heard of Prime Now, but Prime Now, it's a service that they're releasing, and they are like in the experimental phase. They are trying to make it work not only for Amazon products. I mean, Amazon is allowing a few sellers to actually use their improvements. And Amazon Prime Now, it's basically a service where you can get anything you want in 1 hour or maybe two. I think it's gonna be 2 hours free and 1 hour for $7 or something. We have here a screenshot from a news online. Man orders phone online, gets it 20 minutes later because the future is now. So, guys, that's basically why this is huge. Imagine if you could buy anything you want, anything that's on Amazon, and get it in 1 hour or two, even your groceries. I mean, why bother going somewhere else? Right? It doesn't make any sense trying to go somewhere else if Amazon is going to give you anything you buy, they're going to get it to your house or whatever address in 1 hour. I mean, even for $10, that's time saved. I mean, if you can shop online and you can do it really quickly, and then you just wait and keep your stuff, or you keep watching TV or whatever you want, right? So it's time saved, and that's what Amazon want to give you. They want to give you more time so you can do more things. Okay, and that's the future, folks. So the question is, are you going to be part of it as a simple Amazon Prime member, or are you going to reap the rewards of riding this wave as a successful FBA seller starting from today? So tell me that on the chat box. Okay, cool. Yeah, seller. Yeah, exactly, guys. Cool. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. I'm going to show you right now 4 easy steps on how to get your business off the ground and be well on your way to 6 figures a year. Now, finding a product to sell. I mean, there's not just a couple products that you can actually go and see. I mean, Amazon has a huge catalog of hundreds of thousands of products. I mean, you can find anything there. Okay, so finding a product is not easy. It's not hard. But the thing is that there are so many potential opportunities. Whatever you want, in whatever category, you can find a good product to sell. Okay, but maybe it could become really overwhelming, right? So I want to give you a few ideas on how you can actually find a product and don't get overwhelmed in the process. Okay, so make a list. Make a list of your hobbies. Okay, this is really important. Not because you're gonna sell or you're gonna do what you love to do or stuff like that. Isn't it gonna be cool if you actually can find something you like and that can make you lots of money, right? So that's our starting point. It doesn't mean that we're only going to focus on things we like, because honestly, guys, what you like, what I like, doesn't matter. What matters is what other people want. Okay, so we're going to give them what they're already buying, but just to give us a guide on how to do this, we're going to make a list. Okay, make a list of your hobbies, and second, make a list of the stuff you use daily. Okay, that's really important. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do, and what stuff do you need? And then along the day, what other stuff you need? If you make a list of a regular day on a weekday or on a weekend, of yours, you're going to find a lot of items that you can sell. Okay, and then that's basically when we start the process. Okay, also do not only focus on those daily products you use, also focus on your problems. What are your problems? What are you frustrated about? Um, and also, not just you. I mean, when you start talking to people, what are their problems? What are they complaining every day? So why don't you come up? I mean, we need to see if there's money to be made, okay? But that's also a good starting point. And then we say, okay, let's see if we can make money selling that product or solving that problem, right? Because when you think about it, you do not sell products on Amazon, okay? You sell solutions to any problem, and that solution is actually a physical item that can solve it. Okay, so for simplicity's sake, let's assume that you go to the gym in the morning. Even if it's not true, it's okay. If you don't work out at all, it's okay. But just let's assume that. Okay. So what would you need? Write in the chat box. What would you need if you go to the gym every morning? Okay. I'm gonna give you a few seconds for you to answer that question. So imagine that every day you wake up and the first thing you do is that you go to the gym. What do you need? And yeah, okay, let me see. Of course, towels. Yeah. So I made a list here. Maybe a shaker bottle, some shoes, training gear, towel, a bag, and gloves. Okay, maybe some other things like the ones you're mentioning right now, but I mean, this is what would you need? Okay, and so we start from here. Let's say you pick water bottle, and here's when the fun begins, or maybe not, right? Because fact is, this is the moment when we start researching and doing research. Oh, I hate it. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of hard work, and it's a pain. So the good thing is that, as I said, that's something that people who were doing Amazon were complaining about. And there's a guy, I don't know him at all, but there's a guy that rolled out a service called Jungle Scout. Well, more than a service, it's a Chrome extension. Okay, so and this is how it works. Let me show you. It's real cool. So let me just open a browser here, and we're here on Amazon. So I'm gonna put here water bottle. Okay, cool. And this little icon that you see here, it's our Jungle Scout Chrome extension. So you only click on it. Look at this. You only click on it, and it's gonna populate with all the information you need to make a decision about a product. Okay. So let me walk you through a few details of what's being shown here. So we have here the price. Look at this. We have all the products that are on page number 1. Okay. We can click here where it says extract new page and get the next. Let me click on it, and it's going to extract the results of page number 2, and you can also extract results of page number 3, number 4, 5, whatever you want. Okay, but like this is an example. I'm just gonna focus on this. Also, it's gonna extract the category and the rank. This number is huge. This is what they call the BSR, or the best seller ranking. And the best seller ranking is a number that tells you how many products are you selling per day as a seller. So in this category, they're ranked number 6. So they're selling a lot. And this guy actually created an algorithm that can calculate how many sales. I mean, it's an estimated number. It's not like a realistic number, but it's really close from the truth. Okay? So the estimated sales for this rank on this category is 2,455 sales. But because the price is really low, they're only making $14,000 as a revenue. Also, reviews is it's a huge factor, because when you want to see if there's a lot of competition or not, you focus on this number, how many reviews this product has. And it's not only the reviews of one seller, if you take a look at how many reviews all the sellers have, well, there's a lot. So I would say that this is a keyword or a niche where there's a lot of competition because there's a lot of reviews. I mean, more than 100 is a lot, or more than 500 is really competitive. So you don't want to enter as a newbie on a niche where there are lots of competitors with more than 100 reviews, okay, or more than 500, okay. But anyways, this is also going to give us an estimated, no, it's not an estimation. This is realistic. How much is the fee? So the fee, the FBA fee, which is basically what Amazon charges you for allowing you to sell on their website, and second, for the FBA service, is $4. Okay, so out of $5, they pay 402. Okay, and that means that they get $1.80, which is not that high, right? So it's not that much. But the thing is that here you can have a very clear idea of what's going on and make a good decision. Yeah. So my decision would be do not enter on the water bottles niche because it's really competitive and the margins are very low. I mean, this guy is even losing money here, right? So they may be trying to get ranked because how the bestseller ranking works is that the more you sell, the higher rank you are. And Amazon is going to reward the sellers based on their sales history. So the more they sell, the more that the more chances that their product's going to be shown on page number one. So if you're on top, if you're here or here, that means that you're selling a lot. So basically, if you sell more, Amazon is going to keep pushing your product up in the rankings, and maybe that's what happened to this product here. But like I said, it's really margins are really low. There's a lot of competition, so maybe you don't want to enter here. But that was just the example. Let me go back to the presentation. Now, uh, one of the products that we saw there, the price was like $8.99. Okay, so when you see that number, you have to wonder, you have to realize actually if you can make a profit out of it. Okay, so if we take away the FBA fee, we have a net of $437, right? Because it's not like Amazon fees are covering the cost of the product, right? So we need to factor in the cost of the product. So how much would it cost us to produce a bottle so we can make a profit? And this number can give us a good idea. To make a profit, our product should cost less than $4 or less than 437. But let's say we cannot find anything cheaper than that. That's like it's not just about the price; it's about the quality, right? So let's say our product costs $4. Okay, so that means that our profit is going to be 37 cents per unit. So if the estimated units sold per month are 2,400, that means that in a month, this guy is going to make $900, right? So we're talking about the bestseller. So the bestseller is making this. What would happen to a guy who's just starting? So do you know where I'm coming from? Okay, but anyways, that's how the process goes. So if that keyword didn't work, then you go and find the next one in your list, and that's how you keep working until you find something that looks good and that looks that you can make a profit on. Okay, so we just cross out water bottles from the list, and well, the thing is that before Jungle Scout, the process was annoying. I mean, if you think that this is a little bit tiresome, boring, and all that, well, okay. Just imagine doing yourself all the work instead of just clicking one little icon and getting all the information. Imagine if you have to go and create a spreadsheet, put in the name of the product, the price, reviews, the bestseller ranking, and try to estimate sales. I mean, that's a pain. Jungle Scout has taken down the amount of time and also money spent on research, tenfold. Also, we need to factor in seasons because there are products that are seasonal. Maybe right now they're not selling, but when the summer season comes, they're gonna sell like hotcakes. Okay, so we need to think about that as well, and also consider that there are other price points. I mean, let's talk about range finders. I mean, I didn't know what range finder were before I started before I teamed up with a friend of mine that's a golf coach. I'm gonna talk about him later, but just let me type here range finders. So basically, those are range finders, right? But the thing is that if we click this little button here, it's gonna tell us what's the revenue that we can expect making on this niche. Also, as you can see here, prices are really high, okay? But the revenue is high as well. And the bestseller ranking is not that high. Look at this, 100 units a month. That means how many a day? Maybe three, right? If you sell three of this a day, you can make a revenue of $17,000. If you sell maybe three or four a day, you make a revenue of $50,000 a month. And as you can see, the net, because taking away Amazon fee, the net is $73.56. So that means that if you can find a supplier that can create a rangefinder, a quality rangefinder that can compete against this for, I don't know, maybe $40 or 35, then you can make some good profit, right? Or in this case, maybe a rangefinder that can cost maybe $80. That means that you're gonna get one third of this as a profit. So we're looking at maybe $15,000 a month, okay? And that's how it works. Of course, that the trick is not having just one product. I mean, you start with one, but you want to have quite a few of them, okay? Okay, cool. So let me keep going. Now, the step number two. Step number two is creating the perfect product. What's the perfect product? Well, how do you know what's the perfect product? That one is really easy, actually. Amazon is going to tell you exactly what a perfect product is because, I mean, Amazon has created the perfect ecosystem where people can actually share their thoughts and tell you the truth about a product. So, when you start reading the reviews of a product, you're going to gather product intelligence. I mean, you're going to see what this product is doing, well, doing right and doing wrong. But also, you're gathering customers' language, which is huge. Okay, and when you start looking at how the customer express themselves, you can actually see the copy. I mean, you start copying and pasting some of the reviews with the customer language, and at the end of the process, you have the piece of copy already written. Okay, it's already written for you because it's using customer language. They're expressing their frustrations, or maybe they're expressing how excited they are about a product. So you can find strong points and weak points on the reviews that you can actually use in your copy. When you do the process and you have to write a copy for the listing, it's going to be really easy for you to actually write it. You only need to take all those ideas that you have and put it in a way that makes sense, which is easier than starting with a blank page and trying to write copy. Okay, and that's how you do it. That's how you gather the product intelligence, find the pros and cons, what are the good things, the bad things, and what needs to be improved about the product to make it the perfect product. But of course, we need to see what exactly are the capabilities of our supplier, right? So there's one thing that's called the ideal product versus the real product. Okay, so we need to see um, until what point we can actually ask our supplier to improve the product. Okay, because maybe they can do it, but it's going to be prohibitive. I mean, the cost is going to be really high. We don't want that. We want to make some money, right? So we don't want to spend time on things that maybe are not going to work, or we don't want to spend money on a product that's not going to give us a good profit. Okay, so about creating the ideal product, one of the best practices is that you go to a niche, maybe the water bottles, and you see what other products are frequently bought together along the water bottles, and you offer some sort of combo pack, okay? And that could be a game changer. If no one else is doing that, that can give you the upper hand, okay? So think of that when you are creating your own products. And after going through these two steps, you have a very good idea of what you want. Well, not what you want, but what your customers want. And now it's time to find out if it's really possible. So let's go and find a reliable supplier. Just as an example, we're going to go to Alibaba and find a supplier. So let me just go there and show you how it works. So Alibaba, it's pretty much similar to Amazon. So here, just type water bottle. And it's going to pull up a lot of different product ideas, resources, and sellers or manufacturers that can help you. So, okay, the product is cheap, right? $1.90, a dollar. And well, back in the day, I remember that I did some research about water bottles, and people wanted not plastic bottles, but they wanted something like um, like a real bottle, right? Not plastic, but made of glass. But the thing is that it should be unbreakable. Okay, people wanted that, an unbreakable bottle that shouldn't be plastic because of the BPA and all that stuff. They don't want it. And so this bottle looks really good. Okay, it looks really good. I don't know if it's plastic or if it's glass, but it should be glass and unbreakable. Okay, so those are like the things that people say. But anyways, that's not a niche that I want to get in. But I just leave that idea for you if you want to take it. Okay, so and that's how Alibaba works. Then you go here, and then you contact supplier, and you ask for what's the MOQ or minimum order quantity and the best price. Even when they say here what it is, you have to contact them. And well, what I want you to do is that I want you to contact suppliers and then collect 3 to 4 samples from different suppliers. And once you have the samples, ask for customization options. What can they do to make your product unique? Okay. Then you analyze the samples, and of course, you need to decide which supplier you want to work with. And here is when your gut is going to help you, okay? Because I mean, you're going to have some interactions with them, and you're going to see or you're going to feel if they're the right one or not, okay? And that's really important. Trust me, because your gut is going to tell you. It's not just about the price. I mean, they need to be reliable. They need to be there when you need them. So if they take it too long to answer your emails, well, that's a bad sign, right? You maybe don't want to work with that supplier. Or if the sample is not good, just imagine if the sample is not good, what can you think of the production, right? So those are a couple of hints that can give you an idea of what supplier you want to work with. Okay, so once you have chosen your supplier and once you know what product you want to sell, it's time to make a real investment, and it's time to actually start in the game. Because before that, I mean, even getting the sample, okay. If you don't want to do it, you don't want to do it. But here is when you make the leap of faith, okay? When you place your first order, and then when things start happening. So for the all of you who are afraid of giving money to an stranger, because that's what they are, before you start your partnership. In a way, it's a partnership. Well, basically, you can pay using a scroll service. So Alibaba has this service that allows you to pay Alibaba, and then they release the money when the goods are being shipped to the US or to Amazon. So it's really cool. My suggestion is that you order between 500 and 2,000 units, and usually your supplier would ask you for 30% down. Okay. Now, let me give you a better idea of how the process really works. Okay. So this is a timeline where I'm going to tell you that Amazon is a long-term business. I mean, you have to think of a year. So in the first month, what's going to happen is that you're going to find out if the product idea meets the requirement. That means talking about number of reviews, amount of sales, a price point, and all that. Second, if the samples are satisfactory, you're gonna be asking for samples to your suppliers. You're gonna see if the supplier meets the requirement. Remember, your gut is really important here. And also at the end of the first month, you're gonna be ready to order your first shipment. You're gonna put 30% down of the first order, and you're gonna start working on the product listing. In case you're wondering what a product listing is, it's basically where's the photo and the description of the product and where you can actually buy the product, okay, on Amazon. So you can use the information of step number two. Remember when you were gathering information or customers language, product intelligence. So that along with some good pictures, and that's all you need to just populate that listing. And then decide what shipping method are you going to use. It all depends on the weight and the cost of the product. But sometimes it's really cheap. Ocean shipping, it's cheap, but sometimes it makes sense to ship something by air. If the item is lightweight and really small, then it makes sense to actually do it via air. Okay, so you get shipping quotes and then you decide. And on the third month, you pay the 70% reminder of the order, and you pay for shipping, and you prepare the launch campaign. The launch campaign is basically what are you gonna do to help your product getting seen on Amazon. It's not just a matter of listing a product on Amazon. I mean, you need to do marketing, okay? And marketing means preparing giveaways, basically directing people to your page so they buy from you. In the third month, basically what happens is that you already have your product there. So you start getting reviews, you start your PPC, and then you plan future orders. PPC stands for pay-per-click. So Amazon has a pay-per-click program. Bits start at 5 cents per click, so it's really cheap. And sometimes it's a huge game changer that can help you take your business off the ground really fast. And that's how it works. The process repeats itself. And then at the end of the year, you should be making some good profits. Now, are you ready to change the world one product at a time? With Amazon's ecosystem, this is really possible because remember what we did when we started researching about the water bottles, and then you see what's the current offer, what sellers are offering to the market, and then you need to find out what exactly are the customers looking for. So there are two choices. You either create a better product or you sell the same product but for cheap. Okay, and the latter is not the greatest strategy ever, but you can do that. Okay, you can do that. And the thing is that in the end, what's going to happen is that the Amazon customer is going to win, and also you're going to get paid to do that. So that's how you change the world one product at a time because you know what they need, so you give them that, and then you charge a price of I don't know 9, 20, 100, whatever. Okay, and that's how you do it. So you may be wondering how much money would you need to start this business. But before we get to that, let me show you what you can expect. Because I mean, sometimes we don't know what the possibilities are. So I'm going to sign up to my Seller Central account right now, and I want to show you this. I want to show you the sales summary. So this is what happened in the last 30 days, and this is basically what we have been making for the last year, $250,000 in sales per month, which is crazy. Because when you think about it, we're talking about close to $3 million a year worth of sales. Okay, and if you're wondering how much of that is profit, well, I can tell you guys that's 40% of that is profit. Okay, so that's something that can happen to you too. Okay, and to answer your question, you will need around $3,000 to $5,000 to get started. But of course, that's just a ballpark figure. But the real question is, would you like to have similar results to what I was showed you? Um, Now, let me show you, and this is basically the final part of the presentation. I want to show you how to get started today with this lucrative business opportunity. Oh, and remember that at the end of the presentation, we're going to have a Q&A time. So if you want to stick around, You can ask me whatever questions you want, or you can just leave them there on the chat box, and I'm gonna answer them. Now, imagine if you could escape all the frustration and unhappiness that comes from trying to put together all the pieces of the make money online puzzle. Eliminate all the guesswork using a proven plan and letting someone who's already been there to show you the way with a never before seen clarity. That's one of my promises. Witness how your sales and income grow exponentially with little to no extra work on your end. Imagine if an investment of $3,000 to $5,000 can make you $3 million worth of sales every year, that's worth it, right? So that's what I'm talking about, exponential growth. Of course, that's not going to happen in a month. Remember, Amazon is a long-term opportunity, but if you do that, you can say goodbye once and for all to your boring daily routine, your boss hole, commutes, and everything you hate about your job. Also, you're going to have the ability to spend quality time with your family, friends, no matter what the day of the week it is, and have the freedom and money to travel to all those places what you have dreamed of, like tropical island, Caribbean, whatever, you name it. And most important, you're going to be able to work for yourself whenever you want to and get paid what you really deserve. So if that sounds good to you, if that sounds something like you want, I can make it happen. Just I already did for a couple of guys. This is what two of my current students partners have achieved so far. Case study number one is Sean Webb, a golf coach. He started on 2015. Right now, he has his first product on Amazon and sold out his first order in 2 weeks. Now we started thinking on the strategy for the next product, and also we're gonna roll out some golf products in a few months, just because he's a golf coach, so he knows a lot of things about golf, so we can make a really good impact in that niche. We have case study number two. This is for what Bokerdine. Well, um, he used to sell digital products, but he wasn't really happy with his results. So he got in touch with me last year, and he told me that he needed to take a job to cover his life expenses. But we decided to partner up on 2015, and right now he's successfully selling his own product and sold out his first order in 4 weeks or so. So this is basically what I'm doing with these two guys right now. Basically, what they did was to follow the four simple steps I already showed you. And just think about it. They are regular people like you. They are not rocket scientists. They don't have lots of money, and they only followed my advice down to the T. Guys, today I'm looking for a handful of people I can help, but not just to take them under my wing, but to partner up with them. So, in a few words, I want you. Okay? Because if you follow the four simple steps I showed you today, you will have questions, no doubt. But I would love to be there to answer those questions. So today, I want to invite you to be part of a small coaching group where I can help you achieve your financial goals. Okay? You just need to fill out a short application form, and based on your answers, we can start working together right away. Now, I usually charge $100 fee per application, but not today. Okay? If you act now, I will waive that fee for you, so you can actually apply for free. You just need to go to the link I'm going to share with you in a few minutes and answer a few questions to see if we are fit or not. After you send your application, I will read it thoroughly, and based on your answers, I will determine if we are a good fit to work together or not. If we are, I'm going to send you a confirmation email letting you know when we can talk about this. And also, finally, on call, you and I will decide if we want to link arms or not. Sounds fair? So you need to act now. Please keep in mind that I can only work with a handful of people. So if this is something that looks good that you want to do, just click on the link that I'm going to share with you, and then fill out a form and let's work together. So guys, right now it's Q&A time. I'm gonna take the time to answer a few questions. The first question is from Chris. Chris is wondering what's gonna happen when they saturate. Well, like I said, saturation is not an option. I mean, we are just witnessing Amazon growth, exponential growth, and they're just getting started. They are only, I mean, their market share of the retailing is only 7%, but they have a long way to go, and we're still on time, guys. So Chris, saturation is non-existent, and it may not be any saturation at all if you think about it, because I mean, there's always new products to create, right? It's not like we all are gonna sell the exact same product. I mean, if you start selling water bottles, I mean, I'm gonna kill you guys because that niche is not profitable. Okay. Um, Now, Robert, he's asking about the ROI of the investment. Let me put it this way, Robert. When I started, I remember making an investment, or maybe a year, close to five or maybe $10,000. But I mean, if that's gonna help you build a business of $3 million worth of sales, and also 1.2 million worth of profits a month, a year, is worth it, right? So the ROI, what was that, like 1,000% or so? So Mary is asking something similar. It's about the payback period of the investment. I mean, in how many months am I going to recoup my investment? Well, it depends, but I can tell you that you should be looking at more than a year. I mean, starting from a year, I mean, after a year, then you can talk about taking some money of your business. Before that, it's not a good idea. Trust me. I mean, you can do it, but I mean, you're gonna damage your growth. It's not a good idea at all. We have a question from Paul about Alibaba. So, are the suppliers there reliable? Well, Alibaba has a few features that allow you to actually determine if they are um, reliable or not. They have some badges that you can check on Alibaba. They also give you this amazing trade assurance guarantee, and which is basically this crowd service that I told you, where you pay to Alibaba the money and they release the funds once they have shipped the stuff to you. So it's pretty cool. And John is asking if it's a safe bet to actually start Amazon today. Yeah, but as any investment, it demands some risks to be taken. So it's up to you guys. Okay, I think it's all for today, guys. I'm gonna leave you right now, and if you have any questions, you can reach me at my email, which is lenin.gilvea@gmail.com. And also, if you want to talk more about this, just fill out the form that I sent you. Click on that link, fill it out, and let's. So, guys, it's been very nice talking to you today. I gotta go. So, goodbye and take care.